Hello, hello, hello. So happy to have you with us. So happy to be here. Thanks to all my subscribers and my new subscribers as well. And please subscribe if you have not already. So I went down memory lane with Bachelor Nation as I caught snippets of episodes for Travis, Bachelor number 8, and Bachelorette Jillian. So if you're interested, keep watching and we'll discuss how when there's smoke, there's fire, and also how some of the contestants' comments actually turned out to be very true predictions. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you at the end of the video. So let's start by talking about Bachelorette Travis Stark and his season. He had his very own season in Paris, and even being in the land of love, where there's an actual bridge full of lockets and ideas of love and wishes of love placed on them. Even being in the city that romantic, he could not make it work with the woman he chose. It took him almost 16 years later to find everlasting love at almost about 50 after his season wrapped. A contestant was booted off very early on by the name of Ali G. She asked very poignantly and directly if he was ready to reproduce, if he was ready for the reproductive part of a relationship. That comment caused her to be booted so fast, by the way, from the running. But in actuality, she actually dodged a bullet. She even asked him if it was what she said or one of her physical attributes, running down a list of them, including mentioning her small boobs. Travis did admit that it was the reproductive comment. She said, "You're not ready to reproduce, then you're not serious. He's not serious about finding someone, and all of this sort of thing." And it kind of turned out that her words turned out to be super true, because he broke up with the woman he chose, Sarah, and it took him quite some time to actually find the love of his life. So do you think there's anything wrong with her comments? Sure, she used a term that's quite medical, but at the time of filming, she listed her professional occupation as oncologist, and he was a doctor at the time, and I believe he still is. So between the two of them, I don't think it was that big of a deal to actually use that term. And if he was indeed attracted to her in any sort of fashion, or even saw a future with her, he might have just found her comments cute and a bit quirky. I believe he really just wasn't that serious and didn't take this opportunity to find love that seriously, although he did, let others know most likely that he did. So the word reproduce should not be an entire turnoff or phrase, especially if that's what you're indeed at some point looking to do. And usually when people come on The Bachelor, that's what they're talking about. So do you think it's that he wasn't even looking for a long-term relationship as the reason why he got rid of Ali G? Do you think he was just finding an excuse? Or do you think that he was just saying, hey, don't go there, hold your horses, I'm only 33, I'm not looking for babies or anything like that anytime soon? So please remember to leave your comments below about what you think about this scenario. Was there anything wrong with her comments? Did he judge her too harshly? And do you think he wasn't really looking for love to begin with? Moving on to Jillian, she had an opportunity to pick a twin, Michael, a man who ran a winery from a seemingly great family that made music together for fun, but in the end allowed a man to walk back into her life after leaving the show, and a man who was suggested to have a girlfriend. Jillian, what were you thinking? So allegedly, according to Jake Pavelka, who's pictured here, who would later go on to be the Bachelor, who ditched his choice his fiance, yes, on live TV, he came back and told Jillian that Wes, whom she had an affinity for and was in the running to be chosen in the end, that Wes had a girlfriend back home. Yet, after being confronted with this information, Jillian allowed herself to be convinced by Wes and won over by his charm and the pleasure of meeting his family at his at-home date, even won over by his sisters and everyone else. So she allowed herself, and loosely said, by the way, that she'd rather be basically gut punched by her own reality rather than taking the wise counsel of those around her and basically making the mistake on her own and learning from it. I just think that all of those red flags and where there's smoke, there's sometimes fire type of thing was there for her to accept, acknowledge, and make an educated and the best decision for her heart, her mind, and all of that. However, instead of giving him the boot, which she eventually did, before that, she got rid of two great men for an alleged two-timer, and also someone who already left the show, who eventually did walk away from her, although when he came back on the show, he said he would not do. So at the end, she chose Ed, who did, as I mentioned, walk away from their relationship. And it is reported that they both had a hard time in the spotlight after the final rose, and share that their relationship, that, once the camera stopped filming and it became public, that public scrutiny kind of took its toll and they were not able to handle it. Well, what do you think? Do you think that Jillian was just going after something that she shouldn't have, something that maybe she thought she would never have outside of the Bachelorette, going for that bad boy, going for that guy who ran away? What is it? Why is it that sometimes women choose to ignore the smoke and eventually find themselves in a fire that they have to put out, or eventually gets put out on its own? Anyway, in the end, she did find love outside of the Bachelor season, but it just goes to show that sometimes people who go on the show are not always there for the right reasons. So therefore, you just kind of have to have your head on straight. What do you think? Did you watch these seasons when they first aired? Do you remember these scenes? Please leave your comments below. Thanks so much for liking, listening, watching, and subscribing. And if you want to hear more videos like this or see more videos like this, leave that comment as well. Thanks again to all my subscribers and my new subscribers. And again, if you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? It's free. Thanks so much to everyone, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.